Welcome to Geek Philosophy, where we love geeky wisdom. If you're new to the channel, I'm Brian. Now, this video is from our campaign headquarters live stream about improv and pacing in a D&D campaign. And in this segment, we're talking about simple improv habits and tips and tricks that you can use at your table, whether you're a DM or a player. And this helps you stay confident and creative when the story goes off script, which there isn't really a script, and that's the point. Okay, let's get rolling. Okay, so one of the things that I think is really important in the game is understanding that you are going to improv from time to time. And some of us are better at that than others, and that's okay. You don't have to always think off the top of your head and remember everything that happened before. There are some ways to buy yourself time or some tricks of the trade to help prompt you with how to think on your feet pretty quickly. So we're going to go over some of those today. So let's dive in, shall we? Let's make sure that we've got a chance to understand how this all works. And I want to feature a framework that I have talked about before, which is the 3-2-1 framework for improvisation. So this means you're going to have 3 steps, 2 types, or 1 thing. 3-2-1, easy to remember. 3-2-1, 3 steps, 2 types, or 1 thing. So every session that you're going to have is going to have improv at some level, right? Every time you are sitting down at the table, you have to think on your feet. That is the benefit of playing a tabletop role-playing game and not a board game where you're just moving forward to whatever square it is, or a video game where there might be some role-play aspect where you're choosing between a decision tree, but this is really about you making the decisions and coming up with something on the spot. And that can be a challenge. So the 3-2-1 framework that I mentioned is great when you're caught off guard, when you're not sure what to do. Just think 3, 2, 1. So 3 represents 3 steps. If you have something that you're trying to do, break it down into 3 steps. So you're playing a character who is trying to figure out how do they infiltrate the castle, and the NPC that walks up to you and is telling you, hey, we need you to go take out the guard that's on the high tower. And in that high tower, he's got the bow. And he's really good with that bow. And you're going to have to take him out before the rest of us can get in. What you going to do? So you can think, well, I have no idea what to do right now. Or you can break down 3-2-1, 3 steps. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is scout out the area. I'm going to go do my reconnaissance, and I'm going to go look around to see, does he look in one area more than the other? What's going on there? Then, second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to figure out what's the best way up the wall to get to where he is. Is there a path where I might need to scale and climb that wall, or do I have to break in and go up the stairs behind him? I need to figure out my second area of approach to go and make sure that I know how to get to him. And then the last thing I need to do is when I'm up there, I'm going to take him out. But this time, it's not necessarily I got to kill this guard. Maybe I'm going to incapacitate this guard. So the first thing I'm doing, getting all the information I need. Then second thing I'm doing, I'm getting up the side of the wall so he would never see me. Third thing I'm doing is I am casting this paralyzation spell that I've got. See the spell scroll? That's how I'm doing it, man. So that's just an example, right? And that was off the top of my head, and the scenario is off the top of my head. I've been doing this for a bit, but you can do the same thing. 3-2-1, that was 3 steps. Now, you could also say 2 types. 2 types is when there's a situation where you're trying to figure out either or 2 different options, or what are the 2 methods you can go with. Let's say you're the game master, and the player is asking you, oh, I'm trying to figure out where I can purchase some options for spell scrolls or spell potions or whatever it might be. I want to go up to the vendor and ask what they have available. Well, you can break it down into 2 different ways. Well, you've got some utility type cantrip potions that are there, and you've also got some healing things. Which would you rather have? Would you rather have this light potion that casts light on you as you're climbing through something and shining up the area, or would you rather have this healing potion, or whatever it is? You pick the 2 different things that you want to do. You can say, hey, what are the 2 types of weapons that are available in this area? Well, we have, this is the swordsmith that makes the swords. We also have the person that puts the spears together. So this is what he makes. He's really good at both of these. Which would you like? Anything that you've got to decide either or, 2 types is a good way to go. You can think of better options for 2 types depending on the circumstance you're in. But then also, sometimes it's just as easy as, what's the main thing that needs to happen? The one thing that is the most important. It could be, all right, you have been overwhelmed with this sense of dread as you walk into the dragon fear, and you feel as if you've got to run away from what's going on here. What is the one thing that you need to do? Because you got to run. You failed your saving throw. So what is your move? What are you going to go to? So you start backing away. And what's the one thing you're going to do? Well, I'm going to run away and take cover. That might be the one choice that makes the most sense if you're the player character. Or I'm going to run away and hide to make sure that it doesn't see me. Or I'm going to go away and get help. What's the one thing that I need to do? So any of these can be as flexible as you need to. 3, 2, 1 is just a framework to help you figure out what needs to go. This also, by the way, works in the real world. If I said, hey, tell me what you think about travel. 3. Well, I like travel, but it means that I've got to first make sure that I got everything organized before I pack. If I make sure that I think through what I need to put in the suitcase, I'm good to go. I got everything packed and ready to go. But then the next thing is, when I get to the airport, I need to make sure that I've already got my transportation locked in. That's my second thing I've got to do. So maybe it's just going to be an Uber so that I don't have to worry about waking up any of my friends so early that they drive me to the airport, because I don't want to pay for airport parking. And then the third thing is, I'm always going to have a printed ticket in my luggage just in case. I always use my phone for the most part, but just in case something goes out, the app goes wrong, the phone goes dead, I've always got my boarding pass printed out and put into my carry-on. So that's 3 steps. Or travel. What are the 2 things? I love travel, but the thing is, travel is great because I can travel to the places I'd like to go, but I like to travel locally to find the best food in the area. So that way, while I'm driving around, I know the next time I'm going out to dinner somewhere, man, I've checked out all these local places. When I travel long distance, the other option here, this other type of travel makes me think about, well, it's great to be able to go there, but I really like to read up on where I'm going, first, so that I know what I'm going to do when I get there. So even in the real world, 3 steps, 2 types, one thing. The one thing I love about travel is I get to meet new people, and this is the one thing I can do. Practice this in your everyday life, in your regular work, in talking with other people, and it becomes easier at the table. 3, 2, 1. 3 steps, 2 things, or 2 types, and then one thing. This works really well whether you're a dungeon master or a player. You can see if it works in the real world, it will work in the game. The only thing in the game is you're thinking outside of the box because you're a character that has way different abilities than you have as a person. You're not casting spells, you're not drawing swords and going into battle, hopefully. So this is something that you have to then put into the context of the environment that you're playing in. So this works well. The other thing is focus on what's true in the moment. Meaning you don't have to think about the what if of every single situation. What's happening for your character right then? What are you definitely dealing with? If you go too far down the rabbit hole of all of the different possibilities, then it becomes over planning, overthinking. And that can give you that whole analysis or paralysis by analysis thing where you're not able to actually come to a decision quick enough. And then it's not so much improv as it's planning what you're going to say just in case. So just try to stick to the moment, try to stick to what's happening and go from there. But this is not the only thing that you can do from a standpoint of, improv. There's other things that you can do. So here's some simple habits that I want to go into that anybody can use. And the first one is say the next true thing. Good example, you're bleeding. So your friend just got hit and you're trying to have some banter, some dialogue in the combat or after the combat's over. This is a simple one. It's obvious if the person maybe took damage that they're likely bleeding. So that may start the conversation, right? Or, hey, you're covered in mud. What happened to you? Just say something that would be obvious. That helps keep things moving. And you're saying things in character to another character. So just, stating the obvious sometimes is a good way to move forward with things. Actually, use that today for a different reason. But use one strong sense. If you're describing things, you're the DM that's going in and you're like, oh man, I can't think of how to describe this stable that they're going to hide in and get away from the guards. The room smells like wet iron. stick with one sense, and then you can let it branch out into other things. So think about, what does it smell like? What does it look like inside? What do you hear when you walk in? If it's a blacksmith shop, do you hear the ping, ping, ping of someone hammering a hammer on iron? That helps set the mood for what's going on, sets the stage of what's happening. So just pick one sense and then just let it go from there. Call for a roll to buy some time. I do this all the time. If I'm role-playing with my players and they are asking questions about what does the room look like, do I get a sense of how this person has been treated by their friend when they walk into the room and I see them arguing? Do I get a sense about what their true relationship is and what's been going on with them? Hey, make an insight check and tell me what you're trying to figure out here. And then while they're doing that and picking up the die, you can start thinking of all those things. Maybe you use 3, 2, 1. Maybe you figure out another way. But give yourself some time by letting them roll the dice, which everybody likes to roll the dice. So that'll let you buy some time to figure out something. Borrow from real life. The shopkeeper reminds me of my old boss is a great one, right? So like if you are trying to describe an NPC, maybe you never planned for the NPC to show up. This non-player character is just someone that maybe they invented because they're like, oh, you know, I really need to go into the shop and figure out if they can fix my armor that took damage previously. I want them to either fix the armor or buy some new armor so that I can upgrade a little bit. I'm going to go into the shop. What's the shopkeeper like? Well, just describe someone that you already know and just amp up, you know, maybe some of their characteristics. They don't need to know who you're describing. You just give them a different name. But this gives you a personality that you can already latch onto. You have people in your life, I'm sure, that you know from your family, your school, your friends, anything that's going on. Just let them connect with someone that you're drawing from a personal history. It's the easiest way to improv something. And then also, you can let silence work for you. Take a breath. Pause a little bit. Let that add some tension to what's going on. So you don't do this to delay things, but to give them a sense of ominousness or a sense to let them think about what just happened. Because even music needs silence sometimes between the notes. So this is a great way to, you know, pull some improv tips into just any campaign that you're in. You don't have to do all of these things, and you're not going to be great at all of these things. Just try maybe 1 or 2 at your next session and, you know, see how it turns out. I think you'll have a good time trying at least, and you'll find things that you like even better or more things than I've listed here. Please make sure that you leave them in the comments or in the chat when we talk about this stuff so I can learn from what you're doing too. Hey, thanks for watching. And remember, improv isn't always about being quick on your feet. It's about being in the moment. Cheers.